Hi there. Let me ask you something. Have you ever sat in a doctor's office, heart pounding a little faster than usual, and heard the words, "You'll need surgery"? Maybe it was for a hip replacement, or maybe a heart procedure, cataract surgery, or even something more routine like hernia repair. Whatever it was, you probably had a moment where you thought, "Can I really go through with this at my age?" If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And if you're watching this, chances are you, or someone close to you, is thinking about having surgery after turning 70. Now, I'm not here to scare you. Far from it. In fact, what I want to do is help you feel stronger, smarter, and more confident going into it. You see, surgery after 70 is not the same as surgery when you were 40. The body heals differently. The risks are different. But the good news is, you can do a lot to improve your chances of bouncing back quickly and safely. And it starts before you even get to the hospital. Today, I want to share with you 5 important things you absolutely need to know before going under the knife. These are things I've learned through real stories, medical experts, and people like you, people who want to live well, stay sharp, and keep their independence. So let's talk about the first one. And this might surprise you. It's about your mindset. A lot of folks think preparing for surgery is only about the body, what medications to stop, when to stop eating, what exercises to do. But your mental outlook plays a bigger role than most people realize. Studies have shown that patients who go into surgery feeling anxious, fearful, or hopeless often take longer to heal. Their immune systems react differently. Their sleep suffers. Even their pain levels feel worse. But here's the flip side. If you go in feeling calm, in control, and optimistic, your body follows. Recovery is smoother. Energy comes back faster. And you're less likely to fall into a post-surgery funk, which, believe it or not, is pretty common in older adults. So how do you build that mindset? Start by talking it out. Speak with your doctor about the risks, but also about the success stories. Ask your surgeon questions until you feel comfortable. Talk to a friend who's had a similar surgery and recovered well. And more than anything, visualize your recovery. Picture yourself walking again, moving freely, enjoying your favorite garden, or even just getting out of bed without pain. That's not just thinking positive, that's creating a roadmap for your brain to follow. Now, the second thing you need to know before surgery is about your nutrition. And no, I'm not going to lecture you about broccoli, unless you love broccoli, in which case, go ahead. What I really mean is this: your body needs fuel to heal, and after 70, that fuel has to be a little more specific. You might not feel hungry in the days leading up to surgery, especially if you're anxious, but this is actually the time when your body needs the right balance of protein, vitamins, and healthy fats more than ever. Because surgery causes stress on the body, and your immune system is going to be working overtime. Without the right nutrients, it can't do its job properly. Healing slows down. Muscles break down faster. You might even lose weight unintentionally, which, at your age, is not always a good thing. So here's a simple rule: eat like your recovery depends on it, because it does. That means lean proteins like eggs, chicken, or beans, healthy fats like olive oil and avocado, and plenty of colorful fruits and vegetables. Oh, and don't forget to stay hydrated. Dehydration after 70 can lead to confusion, dizziness, and delayed healing. If you're not sure what to eat, talk to a dietitian who works with older adults. Even just a short consult can give you a plan that makes a real difference. Okay, now here's the third thing. And this one is often overlooked, but it's critical. I'm talking about your medication list. Over time, most people over 70 have built up a pretty long list of prescriptions. Blood pressure meds, cholesterol pills, painkillers, maybe something for sleep or the heart. But some of those drugs, especially blood thinners, anti-inflammatories, or even certain herbal supplements, can interact dangerously with anesthesia or delay wound healing. So about 2 weeks before your surgery, sit down with your doctor, or better yet, your pharmacist, and go over every single thing you take. Yes, even the unnatural stuff from the health store. Ginkgo, garlic, turmeric, all great in many cases, but they can cause bleeding or interfere with medications when it's time for surgery. Ask which meds you should stop, which ones to continue, and how to taper off safely if needed. And if your doctor doesn't bring it up, you bring it up. Because at 70 and beyond, your system doesn't process medicine the way it used to. What worked fine at 60 might not work the same now. But I know that's a lot to take in already. We've touched on mindset, nutrition, and medications, 3 powerful ways to prepare for surgery that can truly change your experience. So let's take a breath here. Because next, I want to share something equally important. Something that often happens after surgery, but can be prevented before it even starts. It's something that can either speed up your healing or hold you back for weeks. So, you've got your mindset in a better place. You're nourishing your body like it matters, because it does. And you've gone over your medications with care. But here's something that tends to sneak up on people, especially after surgery. It's not in the pamphlets. It's not often brought up during the pre-op appointments. I'm talking about losing your mobility. Not because the surgery didn't work. Not because something went wrong. But simply because you stayed in bed too long afterward. Now, I know that sounds strange. You might think, but I'm supposed to rest, right? And yes, absolutely, you need rest. But here's the truth most people don't hear. Prolonged bed rest can be dangerous after the age of 70. Even just a couple of extra days without movement can lead to muscle loss, blood clots, pneumonia, and even a drop in mental clarity. It's something doctors quietly call post-operative deconditioning, and it's far more common in older adults. So what can you do? You prepare before the surgery. Start by working with a physical therapist or even your primary care doctor to create a gentle movement plan that fits your current condition. It doesn't have to be fancy, just getting your legs stronger, your balance better, and your breathing a bit deeper will give your body a head start. And just as important, ask your surgeon if they offer enhanced recovery programs. These are newer post-surgical care routines that aim to get people up and moving safely within 24 hours, sometimes even sooner. That early movement helps everything: blood flow, digestion, sleep, and mental sharpness. It's like reminding your body, we're still in this together. And if your hospital doesn't automatically offer that, advocate for yourself. If you've got a spouse or adult child helping out, ask them to be your support system. Because getting out of bed, carefully, with help, is not just about strength. It's about not losing what you already have. That brings us to something else that plays a surprisingly huge role in recovery: sleep. Now I don't mean just the sleep you get in the hospital. Let's be honest, hospitals aren't exactly known for peaceful nights. What I'm really talking about is how well you sleep in the weeks leading up to your surgery. And believe me, it matters more than you think. When we sleep, our bodies repair themselves. Hormones that control inflammation, tissue growth, and immune function are all regulated at night. But here's the thing, many older adults already struggle with sleep. Add in the anxiety of an upcoming surgery, a change in routine, and maybe a few extra medications, and boom, you're suddenly running on empty at a time when your body needs fuel the most. So what can you do? Start preparing your sleep routine at least 2 weeks in advance. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Limit screen time an hour before bed. Yes, even the evening news. Keep the room dark and cool. Skip caffeine after lunch, and talk to your doctor if you're using sleep aids regularly. Some of them can interfere with anesthesia or leave you groggy in recovery. And here's a small but powerful trick. Listen to calming music or nature sounds for 20 minutes before bed. It's been shown to reduce heart rate, ease anxiety, and improve sleep quality, especially in older adults. Alright, now let's talk about the 5th thing you need to know. It's not a pill. It's not a diet. It's something that lives inside your relationships. Something we all need, but often don't realize until it's missing. I'm talking about emotional support. See, after 70, we've been through a lot. Loss, change, health scares. Life teaches us to be tough, sometimes too tough. So when surgery comes along, it's tempting to think, I'll handle this on my own. But you don't have to. In fact, people who have a strong support network before and after surgery recover faster, have fewer complications, and report a better quality of life during recovery. It doesn't have to be a big crowd. Sometimes just one good friend, a partner, or even a neighbor who checks in regularly can make all the difference. So reach out. Let someone know what's happening. Invite them into your process. Tell them when your surgery is scheduled, ask if they can visit, or just be available for a phone call. And if you live alone, ask your hospital if they offer post-surgery support services or connections to home care. More and more hospitals now recognize how crucial emotional well-being is to physical healing. You see, healing isn't just a physical act. It's deeply emotional. And having someone to laugh with, or even cry with, during recovery doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Alright, let's take a step back for a moment. We've covered a lot here. From staying mobile, to getting good sleep, to surrounding yourself with the right people. All of these steps, every single one, has the same goal, to help you not only survive surgery, but thrive afterward. But there's still one more piece of this puzzle I'd like to share with you. Something that often doesn't get talked about until it's too late. Something that might just make the biggest difference of all when it comes to living fully and fearlessly after surgery. Now, I want to talk with you about something a little more personal. It's not written on your hospital paperwork. Your surgeon probably won't bring it up. But if you've ever had a major health event, or watched someone else go through one, you'll understand exactly why it matters. I'm talking about your mindset going into the surgery, and the story you tell yourself about what comes next. Because here's the quiet truth that often gets missed. What you believe about your recovery can shape your recovery. Your attitude, your outlook, even your hope, it all affects how your body responds. You see, after 70, people often start to hear this quiet, dangerous voice in the background. Maybe it whispers, "You're too old for this." Or, "It's not worth fighting this hard anymore." Or even worse, "I'm just a burden now." And if no one corrects that voice, if no one shines a light on it, it can start to feel real. But I'm here to tell you, that voice is wrong. There is no expiration date on healing. There is no age limit on progress. And your life, right now, right here, still matters. Not just to your doctors, not just to your family, but to the world you're still very much a part of. So if you're preparing for surgery, I want you to take a few quiet moments with yourself. Ask, what am I hoping for when I come out the other side of this? What do I still want to do, or feel, or enjoy? It doesn't have to be dramatic. Maybe it's sitting in the garden again. Maybe it's attending a grandchild's wedding. Or maybe it's just walking without pain for the first time in years. Whatever it is, hold that image. Let it be your reason. And if it feels small, good. Small goals are where big recovery begins. And here's something you can do, starting today. Practice visualizing your recovery. Close your eyes each morning and picture yourself strong, steady, breathing deeply, smiling even just a little. It might sound silly at first, but studies have shown that mental rehearsal actually helps the brain and body prepare for success. Athletes do it. Musicians do it. And now it's your turn. Of course, there may be setbacks. Recovery is rarely a straight line. But when your mindset is anchored in something real, you'll be much more prepared to ride the waves instead of being knocked over by them. And this brings us to one more piece that ties everything together. Something a lot of people never even think about until they're lying in a hospital bed, feeling confused and helpless. Making sure your wishes are clear before you go under the knife. Now, I'm not trying to bring the mood down, but part of having a healthy recovery is being honest with yourself and with your doctors and your family about what you want. That means having advanced care planning conversations. It means filling out a health directive, making sure your spouse or your adult child knows who to talk to if you can't speak for yourself. It's not about expecting the worst. It's about preparing for the unexpected, so that your mind can rest and focus on healing. Believe it or not, people who feel more in control of their medical journey tend to recover faster. They experience less stress, fewer complications, and even lower pain levels. Because they're not carrying the weight of uncertainty. They've already laid down the roadmap. So talk to your doctor. Ask questions until you feel clear. Not just about the surgery itself, but about what comes after. Will you need help at home? Will you be using a walker? Will you be able to bathe yourself? Knowing these answers before surgery helps avoid surprises later and gives you a better chance at bouncing back with confidence. And one more thing, it's okay to be scared. It really is. You're not weak. You're not being dramatic. Facing surgery at any age takes courage, but especially after 70. There's a lot more to consider. But courage isn't about never feeling afraid. It's about walking forward anyway, with your eyes open, your heart strong, and your support system right there beside you. So, let me remind you of something simple and important. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to get better. You are allowed to hope. Surgery is not the end of something. It can be the beginning of something better, freer, lighter. And in a moment, I'll tell you one final piece, something I believe more than anything else. Something that could make all the difference for your body and your spirit in the days and weeks after the operation. But only if you're willing to believe it. You've come with me this far, so I want to leave you with one last truth, one that doesn't come from a medical book or a hospital brochure. It comes from people who've been there. People who've gone through surgery at 70, 75, even 90 years old, and still found a way to heal fully, to laugh again, to walk without pain, to live without fear. And here it is. Recovery isn't something that happens to you. It's something you help create. Not all at once. Not in giant leaps. But step by step, breath by breath. And here's the part that really matters. You don't have to do it alone. One of the most powerful things you can do after surgery is surround yourself with people who believe in your recovery, even on the days when you don't. That could be your partner, your grown children, your neighbor, your church group, or even a nurse who treats you like family. And yes, sometimes that support system needs to include a physical therapist who pushes you a little further than you thought you could go, or a caregiver who reminds you to eat when you're too tired to care. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. Because healing isn't just about what your body can do. It's about what your soul is willing to accept, help, encouragement, and yes, joy, even in the smallest things. You might not realize it, but moments of joy actually boost your immune system. Laughter reduces inflammation. Connection improves blood flow. It's not a theory. It's chemistry. So after your surgery, if someone sends you a silly joke or a picture of their cat wearing a bow tie, smile. That's part of your medicine now. And here's something else I want you to carry with you. Movement is magic. Now, I'm not saying you need to run a marathon 3 days after hip replacement. But after 70, our muscles shrink fast when we stay still too long. The longer you lie in bed, the harder it is to get up. And the truth is, complications like pneumonia, blood clots, and even confusion love to sneak in during long periods of immobility. So ask your doctor, your nurse, or your rehab therapist, when can I start moving? Not if. Even if it's just sitting in a chair for 10 minutes the day after surgery. Even if it's wiggling your toes and rotating your ankles while you lie down. These small actions are not small. They are your first steps back to strength. And don't forget the emotional part of movement. Some days, your body may be sore, but your mind will crave company. Try to have a visitor. Sit by a window. Listen to a song that lifts your heart. Open a book. Let your spirit stretch, even when your legs can't just yet. Recovery is not a race. There's no gold medal. But there is a reward, a real one. It's the moment you wake up and realize you brushed your own hair again. The day you walk without help to the mailbox. The first night you sleep all the way through without waking up in pain. That's why everything we talked about, your nutrition, your medications, your mindset, your movement, your support, they all come together to create that moment. And it's worth it. You are worth it. Now before we say goodbye, I want to ask you something gently. What will you do with your life after you heal? Not someday. Not in a perfect world. But in this life. The one you're still living. Maybe you'll travel. Maybe you'll plant a garden. Maybe you'll finally take that art class or write down the stories from your childhood so your grandkids will know where they came from. Whatever it is, hold that image close. That is your reason. That is your why. And no surgeon, no scar, no statistic can take that away from you. So let's finish with this. If you're over 70 and facing surgery, you're not fragile. You're seasoned. You're strong in ways younger folks can't always understand. And that strength is your secret weapon. Yes, it might take longer to heal. Yes, there will be good days and tough ones. But remember, healing doesn't belong to the young. It belongs to the willing. And if you're still here, still listening, still hoping, then you, my friend, are already on your way. Take care of yourself. Keep asking questions. Keep moving, eating well, sleeping deeply, laughing often, and leaning into the love around you. And if this video helped you even a little, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story, or your fears, or just a hello. You're not on this journey alone. Click the like button if you found something helpful. And if you'd like more videos like this, filled with warmth, wisdom, and real-life advice for living well after 60, consider subscribing to the channel. We're building something beautiful here, one story at a time. Until next time, stay strong, stay hopeful, and remember, you don't need to be young to start over. You just need to begin.